Hey, what's going down, my friends? It's JB. So it is the new year. Today is 2015. And as we start this new year, I want to share a practice with you that I took about a year to test out. So I can't say it's like a decade-long practice or anything like that. But I took about a year to test it out. And it has had an unbelievable, profound effect in my life over the last year. So I was really thinking, like, this is a hyper growth, like, sort of like, this is a higher level, sort of, hyper growth, spiritual growth tactic process that I'm about to share with you. And it works really well right about now, right about at the start of the new year when we're really thinking about these things and thinking about what we want the next year of our life to be. And so at the start of 2014, I had this like profound realization that I just needed to take about a year of my life off. In fact, it wasn't the first time I'd had that. I actually thought that at the start of 2013, but I wasn't ready to do it. There were still too many things just kind of driving me that I was unconscious of. And I couldn't even fathom taking, that much time off or anything like that. So I couldn't do it. But after 2013, I got hit over the head with a 2x4, and I realized that, okay, now I have to listen. And I know you know that feeling that I'm talking about. Like when the universe hits you over the head with a 2x4, you are an idiot if you don't listen, right? Trying to teach you some stuff. And if you were listening, you probably wouldn't need to get hit over the head with a 2x4. But hey, as such, we're all human. So at the start of 2014, I was going through all this stuff, and I've shared in previous videos a lot of what that was. Just a lot of deep healing work, really going back and sort of drudging up, all these things that I had never really dealt with in my life. And it was kind of like God was saying, you got to deal with this stuff, to really be an authentic leader, to really lead from the place you want to lead and accomplish the visions you want to accomplish and really do what you want your life to be about. You can't just pass over this. Like, you've got to go back and do this work and heal this and come from a place of true, authentic love. And there can't be anything inside you that isn't that. That was basically the message that I got. So it hit me that I wanted to create a theme for the entire year of 2014. And my theme for the year of 2014 was the year of integration. It was like a mantra for me. The year of integration, the year of integration, the year of integration. And all over the course of 2014, and it wasn't like all of my work in 2014 was pretty epic, but it was all underground. Like nobody really saw it. And that's actually pretty cool. But it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything on the business front. Like 2014 has actually been one of the most badass business years of my life. Like I upped my game in 2014 in a massive way. And nobody saw it, right? So there's a lot of different ways to do business. I realized, oh shit, some of my friends who are like some of the most successful people I ever know, they don't care about Facebook. They're not posting crap on Facebook all the time. Like, success isn't, how much am I, sharing my accomplishments on Facebook. Like, that's not success. In fact, the most successful people in the world don't give a crap about what they're sharing on Facebook. So, lots of good stuff was occurring in 2014. A lot of challenging stuff, a lot of very challenging business stuff. Biggest, most complex decisions I've ever had to make in my life. Very complex personal stuff, birth of a child, engagement to my soon-to-be wife, really deep healing and integrating of, a lot of traumas and past wounds and things that I just had to heal to come from a place of wholeness and love, lots of stuff. And every single time I started to get lost in 2014, every time I would sort of drift back to sort of that old way of thinking or being, or get lost in, business, or start to go down this track, or start to get too focused. It was like I had this anchor, the year of integration. This theme was like an anchor. It anchored me to what the highest growth principle and the highest growth path of my life actually was for 2014. It wasn't business, it wasn't healing, it wasn't this, it wasn't that, it wasn't any of the details, it wasn't the minutia, it wasn't what was happening in the moment. It was this commitment to a principle that I knew needed to occur in my life. Integration. I had to integrate the healing work, the life work, the business work. It all had to be integrated. And we could probably make another video just on how deep or how profound the word integration actually is. Because what I've realized is that most people don't need more knowledge at this point. We don't need more teachings. We don't need a lot of stuff. We need integration. We need to integrate what we know that we're not living and we're not embodying. And that's why integration is such an unbelievably powerful word. And I knew, after all the experience I'd been through, I'd just been through Hoffman process. I'd had this incredible healing, at Hoffman process. And it was just like, I have to spend this year integrating all of this into my life. And so that was it about. And having this anchor, I cannot tell you how helpful that was for me. I mean, in so many moments where I was almost lost, year of integration, and it just hit me, got it. It's not about this, conversation right now that's happening in business. And it's not about this conversation happening over here. It's about the year of integration. How is every experience, every lesson, every single thing in my life aiding me in the year of integration? And that's the frame that I viewed the world from. And everything then became my ally. Every experience was my ally. Every thought was my ally. Every moment was my ally, my teacher, to show me how I needed to integrate, the lessons that I've learned and everything from the past into this present moment right now. How can I show up as an embodiment of the knowledge and the wisdom and whatever my life has been, rather than it be in my head somewhere, how can I show up and live it? How can I be it? The year of integration. That's what it was about. So and it worked, like the entire year, it just profoundly impacted my year, guided my year. And I've actually, thinking about it, it makes sense because we read these incredible books, right? There's so many incredible books out there. But how could you really take all the knowledge of a book like I'm reading right now, Marianne Williamson's Divine Law of Compensation? And it's like, there's so much knowledge in that book. You could spend the rest of your life truly embodying and integrating a paragraph that woman speaks. I mean, the place of consciousness she's coming from, you could spend the rest of your life just trying to integrate and truly live from a paragraph. And that's how it is with so many books. There's so much. So how can we think that we can just go off and read a book and we know something, or we've integrated something? It takes time. We need to figure out a way to commit ourselves over time to integrating the knowledge and the things that we're learning. Otherwise, it's trivial. It's surface. You learn something, you move on. It's not deep. It's got no roots. So I really like playing with this concept of making each year a different theme. And I'm not committed to it. I think life is pretty fluid. I flow. So if it's organic and it feels fresh this year, awesome. I'm going to keep doing it. If it loses its flavor next year, okay, time to move on. Life's always teaching us how to be organic and feel what's fresh. But right now, there's something incredibly fresh to me about really committing myself for 1 year to a theme, to a major growth principle like the year of integration. And so mine for 2015, this is what I keep coming across and keep feeling, because I feel like the year of integration was a lot of life stuff, life healing. It was me kind of being a healthy, whole person, having a really good psychology again, reclaiming the sort of broken pieces of myself in a way and just being a healthy, whole human being. And so 2015, what's really been hitting me is spiritual integration, because there's just being a healthy human being, right? Which is kind of really good. We should all be that. And then there's this whole other vast amount of knowledge about the world that's all spiritual in nature. And that was kind of my early 20s. I spent so much time studying Adashanti and Nisargadatta Maharaj and all of the greatest, really, spiritual teachers out there. So many amazing spiritual teachers, and the knowledge is so mind-blowing. This quote keeps coming back to me, the world is illusion, Brahma alone is real, the world is Brahma. Like these little Zen koans, and you're just like, my God, what does that mean? But when you grasp what it means, it's like unbelievable. Like it strips the illusion out of everything, and you're left with reality, and then it puts reality back into the world, and you're just like, oh, it's crazy, right? So you start tripping out on all this stuff, but what good is it if we're not living it? What good is it if we're not embodying it? What good is it if I go back into fear and I go back into believing the illusion, next week? And that's what happens when I think we read books or go here or wherever most times is, we get an epiphany and an insight, and then next week we're back in fear. We're back buying into the illusion. We're back into the untruth of things. And so my 2015, I want to be about spiritual integration. I truly want to embody and live the principles of the greatest spiritual teachers that have ever lived, that are on our planet or have been on our planet, that have taught humanity. Because I've learned that there's really nothing else that's real. Like we're all gonna die, baby. And once we do, like what's real? You don't get to keep stuff from the world. Life, my perspective is life is really about being, and I just want to be the most pure form of spirit that I can. And so this year is about spiritual integration. What is this year about for you? So if you want to play this game with me, we'll check in 2016, and we'll see how your year was. So if you want to play the game, really spend some time. This might not come instantly. Spend some time meditating over the next week, or just pondering or walking, or just in your own life. What is the theme that is calling to you? What do you feel is the biggest theme of growth that you need in your life right now to go to the next level? Is it passion? Is it authenticity? Is it wholeness? Is it power? Is it speaking your truth? Is it living your truth? Is it purpose? Is it love? Is it play? Is it joy? Like what quality is calling you forward, calling your evolution and your growth forward? And can you commit to that as being the theme for your year? And every time you get off track or whatever's happening in your life, you remember, you think, wait a minute, that's not what this is about. This year is about fill in the blank. And it brings you back to that. It brings you back to your anchor, so that your frame of the world is always moving you forward down a path of evolution and growth towards that quality that you've made your theme for this year. So play with this one, my friends. It is a hyper growth tactic. It's a deep growth tactic, and I believe it will yield profound results. Okay, talk to you guys later. Peace.